Jennifer Douglas, known to her many thousand Instagram followers as Inked Mom 3, is a South Carolina based model, wife, and mother of three whose path into the industry has been anything but conventional. After spending 13 years working against human trafficking, work she remains deeply passionate about, Jennifer launched a modeling career at 43, quickly earning the 2025 Best New Model Award for a style she describes as raw and authentic. Tattooed, as you can see, entirely natural, and married for 19 years to a husband who has supported every step of the way, Jennifer uses her platform to challenge ideas about who gets to be seen as beautiful and to encourage women of any age and any body to live with what she calls an I don't give a damn attitude. Though she says fuck instead of damn. She joins us today to talk about where that fight began, what it's taught her, and where it's taken her next. And I'm thrilled you agreed to join me. It's very kind of you to take the time. I wanted to just we'll move forward, but take you back a little bit. So you described a pretty traumatic childhood that shaped you into somebody that's very compassionate, driven, empathetic. Do you think you can you draw a line between the person you were then and the person who at 43 decided on this fairly seismic career change?
So the line is kind of blurred. I grew up in a very non-emotional household. Mother was there, but not emotionally. I could be talking to you like this with her, and it was just like a blank face, just kind of like I wasn't there. I didn't exist, basically. I was molested at 10 years old by a family friend who came into our home drunk and snuck into my bedroom. So after that experience, I really just started to have this trust issue with people and men. And so sexuality and everything was just not taught to me. I pretty much raised myself since I was about 6 years old. Had to learn life, what it was all about, emotions, those, feelings on my own. And so fast forward, I'm an adult now and I have children. I did not want my children to experience anything that I had experienced. And so it was really tough trying to navigate as an adult, just life itself. And so at 42, 43, I did those boudoir photos for my husband, posted those on Instagram, and then started getting offers to take more pictures by photographers. And I didn't know what to expect out of this. I didn't know it was going to explode the way it did. And so it was weird for me to navigate that. I still don't know what to expect. I take everything, day by day. And so that's kind of where I'm at now. So there wasn't really no moment where I was like, aha, it was just kind of like I was a broken child. I raised myself, not trusting anybody. And then I got married and started to explore this sexiness of boudoir and have these photos for my husband that turned into what it is now. And so, like I said, I'm just taking it day by day and learning as I go. So,
Do you remember when you first felt confident in who you were? Perhaps when you first loved yourself?
oh gosh, that is an ongoing battle for me, actually. I am extremely self conscious still of my body. And especially when you see things on Instagram or the internet itself of what people think you should look like and, bringing you down on what you do look like currently. And so that is an ongoing struggle for me. I would not say that I 100% love myself. Um, that is definitely still a struggle.
Do people leave negative comments on your posts?
Not very often. I've had maybe less than a handful of men, so actually, Never from a woman, but definitely from men who would comment either on. I just had one guy actually recently think that I slept with a photographer to get photos. And the person in the photo wasn't even the photographer, it was a musician friend of mine. And so people do assume things all the time. I actually had a photographer comment. He said that I forgot what it was exactly, but he said something about being in the itty bitty titty club, which is which is very like
Wow.
this is the part of my body that I'm very self-conscious about. And so that really kind of hurt me just a little bit. I was just kind of like, oh, but then I moved on. But uh, but I have had.
I can guarantee he's in the teeny weeny penis club, for sure, really. And just going back, before the last couple of years. So you spent a long time working in fighting human trafficking, which is incredibly. First of all, thank you. It's an incredibly compassionate and brave thing to do. Do you think part of your upbringing almost drew you towards that space? And what did your time fighting him? What did that look like?
Definitely, it definitely played a part. I feel like I've been a very just person my whole entire life. Justice, I always want to
Yeah.
see, the the right prevail, and um, I've always fought for people. I think because I was never fought for growing up.
Yes.
And so I've always just fought for people. I've very much been an empath and sympathetic and compassionate,
Hmm.
um, even though that wasn't taught to me. Um, and so that all started because my husband and we watched that movie Taken.
Yes.
And I'm a huge researcher. And so if I see something, I'm watching something, I don't know about it, I stop immediately and I Google everything. And so I Googled what human trafficking was. I never really heard of it prior to watching that movie. And so it just completely stunned me that it was happening in my own country, in my own state, in my own city, my own community. And so I immediately dove right in and I Googled a local, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank right now. I'm sorry. Task force, a local task force. And so I volunteered. I started going to colleges and educating college, um, communities on what trafficking looks like and what to look out for, what it is. And that instantly became a passion for me. I mostly focused on minors.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, so that's kind of how it started, was watching a movie.
It's interesting, isn't it? 'Cause I think a lot of people wrongly assume that trafficking is something that happens in a poverty-stricken country, happens in parts of Eastern Europe, happens in Africa, happens in parts of Asia, whatever.
Right.
Like I say, the trafficking, I think the highest levels of trafficking is trafficking across state lines,
Yes.
and which is extraordinary. So one of the things I was worried about is people like you that commit to working in that space or spaces like that. You're obviously coming across some very difficult stories, some very difficult situations. How did you protect and look after your own well-being during that? Because you can't carry somebody else's trauma with you. You've got to show up as the strong person for them. So how did you manage
Right.
to do that?
And I'm definitely one of those people that take on someone
Yeah, I
else's
can sense that.
emotions and everything. I just want to fix everything. Um, but lots of breaks, lots and lots
Yeah.
of breaks. I had to step away multiple times to just regroup and go on vacation, kind of be in the present, in the now with my family, my kids. I have two girls and a son.
Mhm.
And so, and they always, if they were here, they'd always be like, Mom always talked about, trafficking and what to look out for, always be on your guard, things like that. But definitely it's heavy. It's really heavy. The stories that I've heard, the things that I've seen, the little care backpacks that you put together for children, um, toiletries, little stuffed animals for grounding purposes, when they
Yeah.
first get taken to the, police station, to meet their advocate. Like, it's a lot, and it's such a huge problem in the world, and you really try and take it on mentally, and it breaks you down. And
Mm.
so, like I said, just lots of breaks. I had to step away
Mhm.
multiple times. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think a lot of parents obviously talk to their children about strangers and about don't get into somebody's car, and they sort of talk about these things almost as an abstract concept in a way. How did you how did you manage to or put it another way, how did you stop yourself just locking your kids indoors and never letting them out again? How did you always give them the freedom that every child needs and wants when you know the truth of what actually is really out there?
Right. So, with my children, you just have to educate them the best you can and hope that they, you know, listen, for the lack of better
Mhm.
words. Unfortunately, with our oldest daughter, okay, let me back up a little bit. So, a lot of people think that it's like you said earlier, stranger danger. Majority of the time, it's people they know.
You know.
So yes, I'm not going to ignore the fact that there are people who do get kidnapped and things like that. But for a majority of the part of trafficking, it's people that they know and trust, and they manipulate them into trafficking. So fast forward to my daughter. Unfortunately, she wasn't trafficked, but she was raped by a boy that was graduated a year or two before her. And so she thought, so he was older. She was like 16 at the time. He was about 19. And he took advantage of her at a party. And no matter how much I told her, please call us. You drink too
Yeah.
much. You're at a party. Please call us. She still didn't. I guess I don't know why. She just maybe felt like she still couldn't come to us. I'm not really sure. But that happened. So you really just try your best to educate your kids, um, and hope that they come to you.
And how's she doing now?
So she's 21 now, and she's married, and she has her own child, a girl. And so we are originally from California, and so she moved back to California. But she had to go through a lot of therapy. Um, I wish she continued that therapy, but she decided not to. But it takes, I still need therapy. When I was,
Yeah, of
molested
course.
at 10 years old, and I'm 43 now, and it still weighs on you, and it still affects you. So I think she's handling it as best she can. So
So you're a grandma. My goodness. The surprises keep coming with
I
you.
am,
Um,
yeah, I'm a grandma.
so almost 2 decades of marriage now. That's obviously when you met your husband, when you got together, when you got married, you were a certain version of yourself, and then, like you say, you've now explored modeling, some lingerie work, some nude work. How was your husband? I know you said he's very supportive. Was that immediate? Was it you had to sort of talk about things, work things out with him, realizing that lots of other men are going to be looking at you? How was that conversation, that dynamic?
Oh, okay. So first, I'm the person where I'm the type of person where I just do what I want. I just do it. Like, you can come along if you want to, but this is what I'm doing. Um, no, but I mean, we're like best friends. Um, we're best friends. We're spouses. He's incredible. He's been supportive the whole way through. You hear a lot of, I don't know if you personally have ever had anyone on your show that have talked about photographers who are very scared of having the woman's spouse or boyfriend
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
because they get so jealous, and then
Mhm.
I've heard photographers say that some spouses have tried to fight them physically,
Yep.
and we're just like, what? Like, this is crazy. Because my husband is he's the most laid back, accepting, supportive person. I can't even imagine having a situation like that. He just lets me go, and he's like, yeah, just go do your thing. Like this. And he's like, I'm right there behind you, and I'm supporting you the whole way. And actually, my husband is there with me, and he takes all my BTS for me. And so, and he helps pick out outfits, so, and so I can't imagine having someone who is insanely jealous like that. I mean,
Mm.
it's crazy to me.
I think I'm talking to a lot of people, particularly in the people in the porn industry. A lot of time they will say that initially their partner boyfriend is very excited by the fact I'm dating a porn star now, and most people say that that wears off pretty quickly. That they end up dating within the industry
Yeah,
because people, yeah, even though they say I'm not jealous, it just comes out, and so a lot of people can't handle it. So yeah, and huge plaudits to your husband for.
yeah,
I mean, and again, it is you're somebody that's being photographed wearing clothes and minimal clothes, no clothes, but that's all it is ultimately. It's just somebody being photographed, really.
right.
Was it so? When you did the boudoir shots, decided to put them on Instagram, got all the people ringing and saying, "Well, we'd like to model for us." Was it? Did it take much thinking about, or did you think? I'm 43, maybe 10 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, but it's too late. Or did you just think, yeah, why not? Was it a quick decision, or was it a long? You were mulling it over for a while. What? Yeah, how quickly did you decide to give it a go?
Oh, right away. I was like, yeah, let's do it. If I felt like the person wasn't like creepy,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, like, and my husband always comes with me to meet the person. First time
Mhm.
shoots, he's always there. If someone
Yeah.
says, I don't want anyone with you, it's no, we'll do
No.
it.
Yeah.
But I did have some thoughts, like as they kept rolling in, I kept thinking, really? Are you sure you want to shoot with me? I'm like 42. Like, and I have no boobs. Um, but they kept saying, yeah, yeah, let's do it. And then, like I said, I take things a day at a time, case by case. And so I did not start out by what you see me nude in New York streets. Did not start like that at all. I was very
That wasn't the first photo shoot then. Okay.
I was very much lingerie only, had to cover everything. You couldn't see anything. To this day, I still don't do poses where you could see, I don't spread my legs open or anything like that. I keep my legs crossed or closed, whatever.
Mhm.
Uh, but it was very much yep, we're going to do this. Let's just take it one shoot at a time. Um, it does cross my mind, even to this day. I'm getting older. Uh, do you really want to shoot me? um, but yeah, it's a day by day type of thing. So
Yeah. I think when I first saw your photos on Instagram and explored a little bit, the thing that came to mind was that the photographs looked, and take this in the right way. This is a positive word, not a negative word. They're very authentic, and there didn't seem to be any sort of airbrushing or photoshopping, and they weren't sort of typically posed in a very beautifully well lit studio. A lot of them were outdoors in different environments, and it seemed to be very very much a picture of you. Was that a choice you made, or was that where the photographers have tended to position you?
so it kind of is both.
Hmm.
It's kind of like what we're feeling in the moment.
Yeah,
You said the ones in the grass.
yeah.
So I believe that one that you're talking about was in New Orleans.
Hmm.
Um, and me and photographers kind of decide what we're going to do beforehand.
Hmm.
Sometimes it ends up kind of like, okay, I'm losing all my clothes. Like that shoot did end up that way, where I'm like, I'm not a huge fan of clothing, really. And so, and so by the end of that shoot in that dress, I was like, okay, I'm getting up on this big concrete block that's overlooking this river, and I'm taking off my dress. Here you go, and I flung it. And so, um, but yeah, it's we kind of just roll with it. Really, it's kind of whatever happens, happens.
Have you been put in positions that you're uncomfortable or asked to do things that you don't want to do? And if you have you managed to be strong about those
Yeah,
conversations?
so I've learned a lot from this one. I was just learning. I was like 3 months into this modeling thing,
Hmm.
and someone contacted me, and at the time I didn't really know. I had this gut feeling that it was kind of off, but I didn't follow my gut at the time. And so
Yeah.
my husband, it was my first pay job, and the guy was like, "Yeah, $100. Like, come on over, take some photos." And I was like, "Okay, whatever." And so it was in this townhome that his friend was selling, so it was empty. Right off the
Hmm.
bat, that should have been like, that's kind of weird. But so I was like, okay. So I went in. Second red flag I didn't follow through with at the time was he wouldn't let my husband in. So he's like, oh, well, he can wait outside. It's fine. And so here I am ignoring, my gut and everything, which is not good. 30 minutes in, oh, he immediately got weirded out when I mentioned that I fought human trafficking. He was like, he started asking me questions like, are you with the FBI? Like all this stuff. I'm like,
Oh my goodness.
no, but I work very closely with law enforcement. I started getting these really weird feelings. So I started to continue, but I still had my guard up. And
Yeah.
so it wasn't until he started saying things like, because I was still covering myself. And he was
Hmm.
like, it's okay if something slips, these are for me. And I was like, what does that mean? And so I was like, these are for you. Like, it was really weird. And then I had this like sheet over me, and then he proceeded to ask me to pretend like I was playing with myself, like with my hand, like down there. And right then and there, I was like, nope, this is done. I'm done. And so I was like, oh, my daughter texted. I have to go pick her up from school. Um, and I got the hell out of there. There's more to it. I don't want to waste your time, but there was a lot of
Mm.
weird things where keep in mind this is an empty townhome. It's for sale. Like no one should
Yeah.
come. There was banging on the door, and come to the end of the story, my husband was waiting outside in the truck, and he saw this. He was a Middle Eastern man, and he was banging on the door. And at the time, I was inside shooting, and the photographer was like, "Are you expecting someone?" And I was like, "No, are you?" and so like, and so he was like, "No," and he was very like panicky. Just it was a weird situation. And my husband said this guy rolled up in like this van with no windows and banging on the door, calling this guy inside, and it was just a complete nightmare. And my husband said the guy left frantically, and my husband followed him around the block, and he ended up leaving. But it was just a really weird situation. I don't know what it was. It was just very odd. Um, but anyway, to answer your question,
Mm.
I definitely learned my lesson with that. It was a very
Mm.
scary situation. Um, and so, but that was probably the only time that I've been asked to do something that made me feel extremely
Yeah.
uncomfortable. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was not there for that. And he ended up really not being, a photographer, a professional photographer. And so, lesson learned for sure.
I mean, it's terrible that happened to you, but in a way, you can imagine some poor 18, 19-year-old girl sort of picking up his advert in the local Walmart or whatever and saying, oh, great, I'm going to be a model. And in that situation, they're not going to have intelligence, experience,
Right.
history that you've had to be able to say no to that. And yeah, there's some not good people out there, really.
Right, right. And he reached out to me on Instagram, which is where a lot of these young girls are.
Yeah,
And so when I used to educate these college kids, that's one of the things we did mention was the modeling aspect. At the time, I had no idea that, 15, 18 years later, I was going to be modeling myself. But I really tried to educate these kids on, look, you got to be careful. Like, these people prey on these young kids on Instagram, Facebook, you know,
yeah,
uh, whatever other apps are out there right now, um,
yeah,
to get you into a room alone on these, promises of making money. And then someone else is banging on the door, waiting to get in to,
really.
so,
Yeah.
but,
No, and there's been quite a few instances in the press in the UK recently of something very similar. Some girl thought she was going to meet one guy, and she gets sent, and so there's four guys there, and there's something else. Somebody thinks she's meeting somebody on via Snapchat, and it's going to be another 17-year-old boy, and she gets there, and it's two 40-year-old guys, and it's just it's hard because human nature, when somebody starts talking to us, tells us we're beautiful, tells us how attractive we are, tells us how stunning we are, and perhaps we haven't been told that before.
right,
And then we want to believe it, and then it's before you know it, you end up in a situation that's quite difficult, and it can become very dangerous very quickly, really. But
right, yes,
hopefully, the more people listen to people like you and talk about things and learn things and recognize that actually, yeah, not everybody's doing things for your best interest, really.
right. And that's kind of like, if there's anyone listening to this specific show, I just really want to say, like, just educate yourself, research.
Yeah,
PolarisProject.com is an amazing anti-human trafficking
mhm,
website that does amazing work all over the world.
yeah,
So any aspiring models, younger and more mature, like, please just do your research, look out for signs and things like that.
mhm,
So
mm. So one of the things you've been fairly candid about is that you don't have huge breasts, and you don't have any cosmetic enhancements. And a lot of women online do. Obviously, you're going to feel differently about your body. It's done an amazing thing. It's birthed three children. How amazing is that? But is there still any internal conflict behind how you? I won't say how you look, but I think how you view yourself and when you look at others. Is there some conflict in that still?
oh yeah, constantly. It's a constant battle. And I just want to clear something up real quick.
Mhm,
So I was kind of vague about when I said, no enhancements or anything, but the one thing that I do
mhm,
cosmetically is I get something called Xeomin, which is kind of like Botox, kind of. I just
mhm.
kind of smooth out my lines right here. I just want to
That
be
doesn't
clear on
count.
that.
Oh my, that's oversharing. That really doesn't count.
I just,
You're not, but cosmetic enhancements, I think we're talking about is literally somebody cuts you with a knife, sticks something in, takes something out, and then stitches back everything.
yeah,
How
yeah.
many
I just want to
how
be
many
very
others get? It's like
transparent.
that's like moisturizes a lot of people now. So having a bit of Botox or whatever is not. Yeah. Thank you for your honesty, but oh my
Yeah, yeah.
goodness.
So, I was just talking to my husband last night. I was like, "Oh my gosh, like, I just want to be so clear that I do, like, do my wrinkles." But yes, so it's a constant battle. For the past 20 years, I've been going back and forth with, I would love a boob job. Like, I would love some perky volume in their boobs. I've had three kids, I've breastfed them all. There's nothing in there. There's nothing in there. Like, it's just skin. and so, and so I'm very self-conscious about my nude work. If my hair moves and you can see something, um, I'm just, because I don't want, all the, mostly men out there saying, oh, like, look at her saggy tits, and like all this stuff. And so I'm very self conscious about that. But I would love to have some perky bees, or something, um, to fill out like a bra. But then again, I feel like I'm 43. I feel like that time has passed for me. Especially when you hear that you have to upkeep them every 10 years or so often. Um, and then there's the lip situation, and I would
Yeah.
love like cute, lips, but but it's just not for me. It's not for me. Um, I have some amazing women in my life that do, have
Mhm.
enhancements, and they're gorgeous, and that's their thing. And
Yeah.
if I could afford it, I probably would dabble in it, but I can't afford it. so, but so I've been trying to learn to accept what I have, and just kind of roll with it. So that's where I am currently. Do I cry at night because I don't have that stuff? Yeah, sometimes. It brings me to tears when I see all these women who are being invited to go to, all these international shoots in Jamaica and, Greece and all this stuff. And you see a lot of photos from these photographers of these well, you know, endowed, women. And then I'm sitting over here like, like that's not me, but it's fine. so, but yeah, so it's a constant battle. It's my mind is insane with thoughts that keep me up at I'll wake up randomly at 3 in the morning, um, just really upset. And but like maybe I'm not getting this much work because I don't have that, but I'm trying to embrace it. So I'm trying to not let it bother me and just have this carefree attitude, and just rock it as much as I can, because it's not going to last much longer. So yeah,
It makes me sad that that makes you sad.
yeah.
And anybody that's listening that looks at some of the photographs of you will. I mean, it's easy. I know it's easy words to say, and it's sometimes not easy to hear. But you're very beautiful,
Thank you.
and you have a very unique style. I think the tattoos that you have, the ability that you have with the camera really loves you, and I think it's
Thanks.
yeah, yeah. It's hard, isn't it? I mean, and again, having you've got a daughter, I've got a daughter. My daughter's 19, and I sort of look at what she sees as examples of beauty on. It used to be on magazines, now it's on Instagram, it's on Snapchat, it's whatever. And you think, God, how on earth does anybody live up to those ideals? Really, you can't, because but first of all, everybody loves something different.
Right.
Um, and but you see, going through the last, gosh, 50, 60 years, you look at the shape Marilyn Monroe was, Jane Mansfield was, all these actresses then. Then you go, all people that were sort of super sort of stick thin. And then you have a sort of Kim Kardashians, and then oh my goodness, just let me just decide what I'm supposed to look like.
Yeah.
It seems to be every week you have a sort of heroin chic was in fashion for a while. You have all these different images that magazine editors latterly and formerly rather, and then social media latterly has sort of told us this is how we should look. But
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. It's
yeah,
definitely a constant battle of what is
yeah.
it going to be today? What?
Absolutely. And that's the strength in what you do, is that what you deliver is what's authentically you. So if somebody sees this and books you, that's what they're going to get. So I'll often talk to people on camera, and they'll send me photographs of themselves before or afterwards, whatever. Sometimes I just don't recognize them. Honestly, they come on video, and I think, hi, hi, oh hi. And seriously, the photographs are so airbrushed to perfection that actually when I get to talk to them,
Right.
they are unrecognizable, and I find that kind of weird. I
It
find that,
is.
yeah, a
Yeah.
little bit deceptive.
Yeah.
What was the start point behind your tattoo journey? Um, was that an armor? Was that something that you wanted to putting yourself? What was the sort of start of your journey of ink?
Uh, so my first tattoo, it was just kind of on a whim. It was me and my girlfriend were hanging out for her 18th birthday family celebration at
Mhm.
some Italian restaurant, and she was like, "We're gonna go get tattoos." And I was like, "All right, let's go." so
Oh, wow. Okay.
and so we went, 18 years old. We left the family dinner and we went and sought out some random tattoo shop in Sacramento, California, and got our little tramp stamps. so, and then it just escalated from there. It became addicted, and um, all my tattoos mean something. I don't just randomly get anything on me. This, I don't know if you could see, but there's like a woman right here,
Yeah.
and there's a
Yeah.
banner, and it says "I am set free." Um, that I got this right after so my family would not talk about that man that molested me. It was like it was swept under the rug. It was like it never happened, and so I never got help for it. And when I got into human trafficking, I made a lot of relationships in the law enforcement division. Did some research. I never found out if this man was ever arrested. I went to the police station the next day after it happened. So I know we did a
Okay.
report,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I never knew what happened to him. And
Mhm.
so found out what happened to him. He was arrested. He did go to jail for, I believe, on a different charge. It wasn't for mine, but it was like a weight was lifted off. I finally got that piece of knowing what had happened to that man. And
Yeah.
so I ended up getting this piece of this woman. It's just some tears. And it just says, "I am set free," because I felt like I was set free at that moment, of many, many, many years of not knowing, not talking about this man, not knowing what happened to him.
Mm.
And so that's kind of where my tattoos stem from, is just a lot of life experience.
Yeah.
So
It's your story. Is your husband tattooed as well?
he has three.
Okay.
I take all the tattoo money.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm definitely more of the tatted one.
That's what people don't realize. I mean, when I got my arms done, it's expensive, isn't it?
It's
If you want to go to somebody decent and not some random person in a mall,
right.
if you want to go to yes, I did mine. I did lots of research, found this really cool female tattoo artist, stuck with her throughout. But it's the price of a reasonable second-hand car
Yeah.
by the time you sort of add it all up and stuff. It's yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you one of the things interesting in the modeling community, it's kind of weird that there are a lot of sort of specialist tattoo magazines, and they almost tend to somehow fix or group together tattoo and fetish as a sort of thing. Like it's a fetish magazine because this woman's got tattoos on her.
Right.
some of the most vanilla people I've ever met have got loads of tattoos. Some of the freakiest people I've met would never get tattoos. So but do you find that obviously when people book you, they're booking you for your look, which is your tattoos, as part of who you are, really. But do you find that tattooed bodies still get singled out in a way that perhaps would surprise people in the sort of 21st century?
My gosh, yes. It really pisses me off so much. Like, um, especially like runway stuff. I've
Yeah,
only done
yeah,
runway shows like 3 times. It's not for me.
okay,
It's not my favorite thing to do. I'll do
uh-huh,
it if someone really wants me to.
yeah,
Um, but it's not my thing. I enjoy being in front of the camera on like a one-on-one type of
yeah,
situation. Um, but it just drives me insane where we're at right now in 2026. And I still see model calls to either cover up your tattoos, minimal tattoos, no tattoos. And I'm just like, why? I mean, I just had one of my New York photographers. He was visiting Florida the same time I was, and we were chatting about this just the other day. And I was like, this really pisses me off. I want to be able, I think that I would look just as beautiful in some ball gown or wedding gown as much as, the other girl who has no tattoos. Like, I'm just, excuse me, I'm having a hard time accepting the fact that they're just so, I don't know what their deal is, just so offended about, people with tattoos. And I get the whole, people will tell me, well, it's what they're looking for, like brand wise. And they want to focus on whatever the model's wearing or whatever. They don't want the attention to go to the tattoos. And I'm like, well, this is my thought process. If your piece can't stand out past my tattoos, do fucking better.
Absolutely.
Better. Like, so I mean, if you're so worried about that, then you're doing not, you're not doing enough. Do something cooler. I don't know. But so that's just kind of my thought process on that. I think they're doing a lot better in terms of body positivity and inclusiveness about like body shapes and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ethnicity. Um,
Yeah.
I think they're doing a whole lot better, than they were like in the 90s or something. But I'm kind of like, let's get to the point where you are looking for models to come in and, walk with your swimsuit or, a piece of clothing or whatever it is. And it doesn't matter. Like if I have this neck tattoo or whatever, and then this other girl has nothing, or this male has nothing, or this male is covered in tattoos. Like, just let anyone come and do it. I don't know. I can't,
Yeah.
I can't explain it, but it just should not matter to me. And I mean, to me, that's the way I think. I don't know. Does that make sense?
You know, 100%. But I do think there is a gender piece to it as well. So I think if you, I mean, obviously there's a World Cup at the moment going on. If you look at some of the nearly all footballers are covered in tattoos.
Yeah.
If you look at David Beckham, is literally covered from sort of head to toe in tattoos, and he. But if Victoria Beckham was covered in tattoos, then she wouldn't get a photo shoot. But there is
Right.
something about men composing their underwear, Calvin Klein adverts, whatever. They can be tattooed, and
Right.
it's not thought of anything. But I think for when women are in a photo shoot tattooed, it tends to be this real stereotypical trope of like an edgy brand has a sort of tattooed woman with piercings and stuff. And
Right.
it's just it's really weird. So it's a really weird example. So my daughter went to a school nearby, and the school was very they wouldn't allow the girls to dye their hair. They couldn't have more than one piercing in their ear, all this sort of stuff. So they got a petition going and spoke to the governors and made a presentation and sort of showed all the evidence that people study better when they're feeling comfortable in themselves. And if somebody has short hair, long hair, dyed hair, 10 piercings, whatever, it's better for them. And eventually the school gave in. Actually, was in the national press, and all these things that it just showed that being able to be seen for who you want to be in your own image was far, far better than feeling repressed and feeling negative and having all those doubts in your head. So then it made them study less. So it was a really good thing. But I think the same with tattoos as well, is that yeah, people still have this view. It is changing. I think there's something like 30% of people under the age of 50 have a tattoo now.
Right. Yes.
So it's not as rare. It used to be people coming out of the army, sailors, whatever, had a tattoo, or
Right.
very, very few women did. Whereas now it feels that it's more common. So hopefully that'll start to come through.
Yeah. And actually, you brought something up about the men and the women. There was a fashion show I went to in October of 25, and I
Mhm.
did notice that the males had a lot of tattoos, but the females walking barely had any. Like, and if they did, they weren't very visible.
Yeah.
And so that kind of bothered me a lot.
Mm.
I've been to a casting, didn't get picked for, because they had multiple designers
Hmm.
um, looking for models, and I was newer at the time. I mean, I'm not saying that it was because of my tattoos, but by default, I wasn't chosen to walk.
Yeah.
But then I went and saw some of the photos, and like all the models didn't have tattoos. And so I don't know. It's a really bizarre thing to me at this point in time.
Mm.
I'm just kind of tired of the excuse, oh, well, these designers, they're looking for certain people to rep their brand, basically saying non-tattooed people to rep
Yeah,
their brand,
absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
or like not.
1 to 3 people. They're this body shape. They're this height. They're this everything else. Yeah,
Yeah, so
it's still a very old-fashioned industry.
yeah,
Although it's developed a lot, it's still
yes,
very
yeah.
old-fashioned. It
So I
really
guess
is.
my goal in this
Mhm.
whole crazy journey, no, I don't know how much more time I have in this journey, but if I could take anything out of this or accomplish anything, my goal is to really see more tattooed models on the
Yeah,
runway, in photo shoots,
yeah,
branding, things like that, because it's so sad that I would even see ads for designers for swimsuits. And all
yeah.
I can think is, you don't think tattooed people like to be in that swimsuit? You know, like
And there's a big demographic you're missing out on, really. Yeah, it's yeah.
it's,
Even some of the sort of so-called edgy surf brands, they might have a person might have one tiny tattoo on their foot
yes,
to the heart or something, or
yeah,
a little ribbon on their arm or something. But yeah, it's kind of
yeah,
weird, really.
yeah.
Mm.
It's wild. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll have a designer one day explaining that thought process, but I don't get it.
No.
I think it should be really structured on the model, like the person themselves, like their character, their
Yeah.
dependency,
Hmm.
their work ethic, uh, not just because I have some squiggly lines on my chest.
What do your children think about what you do? How did you have the conversation with them?
So my kids are 21, 19, and 16 right now.
Okay.
Um, the they have not seen the two oldest ones don't really know about my boudoir and nudity. They know more of like my fashion part of it.
Yeah.
Um, just because I was trying to protect them from this little small southern town we live in. And they were still in school at the time. And so I was just really trying to protect them from mean kids and stuff like that. So um, the southern attitude is quite different than the West Coast Californian attitude. They're not as laid back. So very conservative, very judgmental, and so I was really trying to protect them from that. But uh, our oldest daughter, she is very conservative now in terms of the religious part of things. So she is very much a active Christian in the church, and so she doesn't really like what I do in terms of like modeling in general, like not even just like
Yeah.
boudoir, like just modeling. Um, she's not a huge fan of it, so um, she's kind of finding her own way right now
Hmm.
as a person. And so I kind of let her do her thing in the church and I kind of do my thing. Our youngest though, the 16-year-old, she's very much, very open minded. We kind of are similar. She, very open minded, very, I don't care what you think of me. This is who I am, accept it or walk away. Um, and so she just saw me in my lingerie getting painted on by the photographer because we were doing a UV light photo shoot.
Okay.
And so he was painting all my tattoos with these UV
Hmm.
markers, and she's just sitting there like watching. And so, I don't think that she enjoys when I leave
Yeah, of course.
for days at a time. So
Yeah.
that's the only aspect of it that she doesn't like. But yeah.
But that could be anything, couldn't it? You could be consulting, you could be doing whatever. Just if yeah, same for us. If my wife travels a lot for work, and if she's away, the kids get pissed off. But it's work. She's not new modeling, but she's
Yeah.
out sort of traveling the world, sort of whatever. And it's when you're not at home, kids want you to be at home. When you are at home, kids couldn't care less if you're there or not.
Right. Right.
Yeah, it's
So,
kind of
but that's my goal too with all this. My ultimate goal, not only like I said with tattoos, is to have that more accepted into the modeling world.
yeah,
But also my main goal when I first started all this, when it started taking off, was to really um, have women have that kind of I don't give a fuck attitude, like this is me, this is what I look like. I want to embrace my sexuality. I want to embrace what I look like. Tattoos or not, piercings or not, whatever. Age, um, you know, I had a hard time turning 40, but then the modeling took off and it really distracted me from all that. But I really want women to accept that. I see pictures on Instagram of, 60-plus-year-old women doing this, and it's
yep,
amazing. Um, the confidence is just, it's really great to see. So that's my whole thing. I don't have my Instagram for men, really. Yes, some of my photos are a little more on the kind of sexual suggested side, but really my Instagram is not to get men followers. I really want to push getting more women to just really accept I can do that. I can go out and do these photo shoots in lingerie or nothing,
yeah,
um, or fashion. Whatever it is, go do
yeah,
whatever
yeah.
you like. Um,
Yeah.
but that's my goal, really.
I mean, and a lot of the shoots that you've posted and things, they're very very artistic. There's ones in the desert. You sort of dressed up incredibly well. There's ones in like in cityscapes, whatever. And
Yeah.
it's the photographers. Well, I'm not saying it's the photographer, but obviously the model's incredible. But the photographers are very good as well. They create a scene, and it's they're just beautiful pictures to look at, really. And it's not, and like it's weird. It's weird, isn't it, when you look at, and again, don't take this the wrong way. When you look at somebody that's naked, but you but you're not looking at it in a sexual way. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
There's pictures of you when you've got no clothes on. You can see your bottom, you can see your back or whatever, and you can see your front covered up, and your legs are sort of twisted in a perfect way to cover everything up, whatever. But so you think, well, yes, that obviously is it's sexy because you got no clothes on. But you look at it and think, well, that's a beautiful picture. It's not in a same way. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But you know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah.
I think people. I'm not saying you're not sexy. You are, but it's when you look at the pictures. It's very much that's a very beautiful artistic picture.
Yes.
Not
Yes. No, that makes
something I'm going to go and masturbate over. It's not what it is. It's something. You know what I mean? It just feels quite different. Yeah.
yes.
Anyway.
And actually, I love that you brought that up because that's something that my husband and I talk about. I think we just talked about it last night. Um, was that I try my damnedest to keep it in a very sensual,
Yeah.
artsy, beautiful type of way. I
Mm.
do sometimes, I have dabbled in the fetish, like the Shibari. I love Shibari.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's one of
Yeah.
my favorite things. The BDSM, like all that stuff. I love shoots like that. It's just very freeing.
Mm-hmm.
But I do try my hardest to keep it on the sexy, classic,
Yeah.
artsy, to really appreciate, a photo. Not
Mm.
like how some men are, probably, like you said, like I have had people message me saying, is it okay if I masturbate to your photos? I've had people ask me that.
What are you going to say?
And
No.
so I'm like,
Yes, but please don't send me a picture of you
yeah,
doing it.
yeah. I'm
Yeah.
definitely like, please no pictures, please no
Wow.
video. You can go do whatever you want with your body.
That's so weird, isn't it? But even Shib, I same as you. I think Shibari, and people that don't know, Shibari is the beautiful Japanese art of rope tying
It's
on a
gorgeous.
naked person,
Yeah.
typically. It's often with a red rope, and a lot of it is the yes, pictures of the rope. A lot of it is pictures when the rope's been taken off and the mark is left, the non-permanent marks left on the
Right,
body,
right,
whatever. But again, that is very, very much on the sensual end of things
right,
more than the section. Some BDSM stuff, obviously, that's different, but
right.
the Shibari stuff is very, 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 and I think most Shibari artists would call themselves artists. It's very beautiful. It's very technical. It's so clever.
Yes.
That's much more sensual than it is very sort of hardcore sexual.
Right, right. And it just depends on the person and
Yeah,
how they view things, you know.
yeah,
I think it's very beautiful when people can look at a nude photo and be like, wow, that's real, it's a beautiful photo. That's a
yeah,
beautiful work of art or whatever. And at the same photo, you'll have someone else and they're like, you know, I think someone said wanking off or something. So, you know, and it just depends on the mindset of
yeah,
the person looking at that photo. And that's also another goal of
yeah.
mine is I want people to feel things looking at my photo, like
Mhm.
emotions, you know, whatever
Mm.
it may be. Not just, well, here's me with my legs spread, you know, like
Yeah, yeah,
so,
yeah.
I want meaning and purpose to what I
And that's one of the challenges that our society has now. So when I was growing up, pornography was literally a picture of a naked woman. That was it. Photograph of a naked woman from Playboy, torn out from some older brother's magazine, passed on a playground. And my God, the woman's got no clothes on. Oh my God.
do.
Whereas now, any child of any age can see the most extreme things that I can't even imagine, and I have quite a good imagination. But so I think there's it's almost it's gone so far that then people are coming back to, well, what is beautiful and what is sensual and what is erotic and what is
Right,
evocative, what is passion, all those things. Because when you can consume so much raw, hardcore content, actually, people are looking for that quieter, that erotic, that black and white, that
right.
noir, all that sort of stuff is much more interesting and something you can look at and like I say, I have a feeling about, and not just sort of playing a camera. So when you're in front of the camera and you're posing and you're in the flow and you're doing lingerie work or nude work, what is going through your mind at the time you're doing it? Is it very technical? It's like, gosh, I've got to put my toe this way, move my boob this way, drop my shoulder this way, or are you feeling empowered? Are you feeling free? Are you feeling vulnerable? What are you feeling at that time?
It depends on the photographer I'm working with, for sure.
Yep.
I have to have that vibe of, you
Mhm.
know, and feel comfortable. Sometimes I can just flow and I just do whatever. And I think those are some of my best pictures where you could see that I was just very comfortable with what I was doing. Um, in terms of like my nude photos out in public, that's very, that's very,
Are they normally taken very quickly before people realize what's happening, or is it a big sort of setup before people start gathering around? Or because some of them look like it's just happened in the moment, and then people are what? Is that woman in her clothes? Sort of, how is the setup done?
so, I mean, it's just done. There's no
Yeah.
thinking. It's just like the New York in the street was across the street from Central Park. And
Cool.
and me and my two photographers, and we bolted out of the car, ran into the middle of the street. I threw off my jacket and it was just like boom, boom, like pose, pose, pose. And it was like those shots were done literally in like 15 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah, and then it was
That's
like,
cool, isn't it?
throw my
Mm.
jacket back to me and bolt back to the car. Um, and it's like it is adrenaline, you know,
Yeah.
man. Like, I mean, you're just, and then everything just kind of stops and you're in the moment and you're just doing it. And then afterwards, it's like everything sinks in and it's like, oh my God, like, fuck, I just did that.
Yeah.
um, but it's fun. Like it's a lot of fun. The one that I just did in New Orleans, it was in the middle of a crosswalk
Mhm.
and where cars were coming and stopping at the light. And but again, you're in the moment and your adrenaline's just going. You don't think about any of that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so that photographer was very slow. So it wasn't, so my heart was racing a little bit faster because I was like, oh shit, like some cop's gonna pull up. Like, can you please go faster? But it's, those are some of my favorite. Those have
Yeah.
been my favorite
Mhm.
so far. So it's been my goal to do that in every major city that I go to, um, especially cities that don't allow, you know, like that aren't used to, like Charlotte, North Carolina, like all of like the southern states. And so, because
Yeah.
I like to push boundaries, I like
Mhm.
to see what I can get away with. Um, and that's just who I am. I like to push buttons.
I like that. Do you have lots of photographs of you up at home? Do you have lots of albums and things, or do you have
Mm-mm,
lots? No.
I don't. I still have yet to, I want to print certain photos.
Yeah.
There's two photos
Yeah.
I do want printed and put into my bedroom. But
Mhm.
yeah, no, I don't have anything hung up of me. Um, I keep it online.
What's your favorite photo you've had taken?
Oh gosh, I have a lot.
Mm.
But I would probably say, I don't know how far deep into my Instagram you've gotten, but I have these ones where I have chains
Mhm.
on me with these big black angel wings.
Okay.
And that photographer is amazing. Like, you have to go check out his amazing, amazing black and white work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but those are probably my favorite because you could
Mhm.
feel something from those photos.
Mm.
Just very dramatic. Uh,
Mm.
those are probably my favorite by far. Yeah, and then of course the nude public ones are my favorite too.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, because I know what was happening at the time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a little story. When you see the photograph, the whole story comes back to you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
About, oh gosh, they race out the car, race back to the car. The photographer was so bloody slow. Come on, be quicker. Just, yeah, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. But what's funny about the New York one was that my photographer overheard two women walking by as we were doing that, and they were like, "Only in New York."
We get that in London. We get that only in London.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Any big mega cities like that. We get that, yeah.
yeah.
You've been super generous with your time. Let's have one more question, if
Mhm.
that's okay.
Yeah.
Do you and you kept saying something I thought I felt was a little bit odd throughout the conversation, is that not sure how much longer you've got left. It's sort of 43. It's not going to last much longer. But then you talk about 6-year-old women having beautiful pictures taken. So first of all, I can't see any reason why age should be barrier to what you're doing. But I wonder whether you do have a sense of where this is all heading. Would you have a view as to what life will look like in 5 years' time?
So I am not a planner at all. Um, as you can see on some of my photos, I'm very spontaneous. I don't think before I do things half the time. Um, and so, like I mentioned before, I take things day by day.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know what it's gonna. We're constantly evolving. We're constantly changing and growing. And sometimes I feel like we're sometimes moving backwards
Hmm.
in this industry. But I can't say, like, I don't think some people have a 5 year plan or a 10 year plan, a 3 year plan, and that's not me. I'm like, what am I going to do tomorrow? So honestly, like when I mentioned I don't like wearing clothes, like I'm not wearing pants right now. So like, I just, it's just, I just take it day by day. And age does bother me sometimes. I feel like I'm old sometimes, and but then on one hand, sometimes I feel young, and so it's just I'm very much not a far right person or a far left person or a black and
Yeah.
white person. I am all over the place. So um, it really just depends on what comes up the next day, and that's kind of how I live. I don't. I don't have a goal of, yep, I got to do this in 30 days or a year from now. It's really what is going to happen, what's going to come up tomorrow. And am I going to do it? Yes or no? It just depends. But yeah, so I don't have goals. I don't have a goal. I just kind of see what comes along and I'll do it or I won't do it. So
Mm.
yeah. I don't know if that's right or not.
Well, gosh, how what there's no such thing as right, is there? But you'd say you're happy?
I am. I mentioned earlier that sometimes I find myself crying over things about, the way I
Yeah,
look. I'll get upset if I'm not getting as much work as the other person, or as much recognition as this other person that I think that I'm just as good as.
yeah.
And so there's that aspect of what I do, that
Mhm.
really weighs on you. Like, am I as good as that person?
Yeah,
Um, and so that, and I'm a very much, I overthink things as well. And so, I'm just my own constant battle. I really fight myself daily. And so, but yeah, I would say I'm having so much fun right now. I never thought if you would have, I was a hardcore like Christian parent.
mhm.
My daughter wasn't even allowed to listen to the Jonas Brothers. That's I liked it, Christian music all the time, and so coming out of that era of my life and into this new chapter, I am having so much fun. It is so freeing, especially when I mentioned like the Shibari work and everything.
Yeah,
It is so freeing. Um, yeah, yeah. So I am happy. Majority, yeah, I would say I am. It's a lot of fun. Mhm.
good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Oh, thank you.
You said at the beginning you were quite nervous and weren't sure how you come across. You came across wonderfully well, and didn't seem nervous at all, so
Thank
no.
you.
You're only the second person I've recorded with that wasn't wearing pants. But yeah, there you go. You joined the exclusive club. I am wearing pants. Right. No, it was lovely to meet you. Thank you for your time. I
No, thank you
appreciate
so much. I loved it. Something new for me. And
it.
you were such a joy to talk to, and really got my mind going and thinking about different things. So thank you so much.
No, pleasure.